Let us begin with that this newly reported skull was actually found in 1933 along the Long, Dragon, Jiang, River, in China, but 3 years ago, a Chinese farmer made an unusual donation to a university museum. The skull is known as Homo longi, the Harbin cranium, and Dragon Man. But the post-flood Nephilim pop researchers should not start with their typical neo-theo sci-fi, since no, it is not a hybrid Dragon Man but is referred to as Dragon due to the river's name. The pop researchers may, however, based on their unevidenced assertion that Nephilim were giants, claims victory since the skull is described as follows, gleaning from multiple reports. A huge cranium, a large skull, massive fossilized skull. The skull belonged to a mature male who had a huge brain, massive brow ridges, an adult of great size, large size. It's enormous, says paleoanthropologist Chris Stringer of London's Natural History Museum. Massive skull, a large brain. This newly identified group may have had the largest skulls of any known extinct human lineage. Teeth. Whole skull is large, Stringer said, a giant, nearly intact human skull. The skull's unusual size, it's the largest of all known Homo skulls. Big cranium, very large. Of course, just like giant, the terms huge, large, massive, of great size, enormous, big are all subjective. It is also described as an elongated cranium, so that will perk up L.A. Marzulli's ears, since he asserts that Nephilim were giants, asserts that he has their skulls, but only ever shows us regular-sized skulls. The actual fossil is a nearly complete fossil skull. So, what is huge, large, massive, of great size, enormous, big? In this case, it is about 9 inches long and more than 6 inches wide, and the modern average is about 8 to 9 inches long and 6 to 7 inches wide. Thus, well within good old-fashioned human average, even if bigger than the monkeys and apes that evolutionists demand are our ancestors or otherwise relatives. Reference to the brain is not, of course, that it was found fossilized, but due to estimations of that which the skull could contain. Yet, the skull has a large brain capacity, fully within the range of modern humans and Neanderthals, a brain that is similar in size to that of a modern human, a brain similar in size to modern humans, a brain comparable in size to a modern humans, a brain similar in size to our own. This is even though one report has it that the brain was about 7% larger than the average brain of a living human. And note the nature of such reporting, since the same report that told us of a massive skull followed directly with that had a brain comparable in size to that of modern humans. Lastly, we are told of the likely size of this ancient human and that he was very large and powerful, with very and large being subjective, of course. See the article on which this video is based for the artist's reconstruction. Note the perspective of the depiction that makes it appear very, very tall, and yes, from a skull they claim to know the skin color, hair length and style, what he wore, etc., etc., etc. For the neo-theo sci-fi to which I referred, see my book Nephilim and Giants, Believe It or Not. Ancient and Neo-Theo Sci-Fi Tall Tales.